Welcome back to AM Northwest. Our next guest wants you to ditch the dating apps and start trusting your chakras, the zodiac, and all that comes with the power of psychic energy. Here to share how all that works, we welcome the star of TLC's The Psychic Matchmaker and author also, Deborah Graham. Great to see you, Deborah.
Hi, thank you so much for having me this morning. I really appreciate it.
So tell me about this. You have this idea that you can recognize the signs of a perfect match. But first, let's talk about what is a perfect match.
A perfect match is when you can see your soul through somebody's eye. Because again, the window to your soul is always through your eyes. And that's what I teach people, whether they're calling into my podcast, The Psychic Connection with Deborah Graham, whether they're booking a one-on-one or whether we're doing a workshop. It's always connecting to your soulmate is through your eyes, but also connecting with your third chakra, otherwise known as your Gita, because that is truly the window to your soul. And I'm a little different than your normal matchmakers and intuitive because I don't just look at you, I become you, and I'm able to really know how a perfect match can be, because sometimes what you think you want and what you really need is two different things.
Okay, so let's talk about this. How can you attract someone? What do you suggest? Or how can you attract the right person, not just someone, the right person?
Right. Number one, by getting rid of the old and the worn out. It's kind of like cleaning out your closet. Imagine you go out and you shop for a whole new wardrobe, but then you still have the old one there. You have to pull out the old and worn out in order to bring it, because 99% of the problem in matching and connecting with a partner is yourself. You say you want somebody, but do you really want to give up 50%? That's right, 50% of your time, because in order to be in a relationship, it's a give and a take. But number one, it's clearing out the old and worn out, and also having patience. That is the key to a perfect, whole, and complete relationship that can last a lifetime.
You have something called the Rule of Three. Tell me about that.
Yeah, that's in Deborah Graham's Psychic's Guide to Attracting and Keeping Your Own True Love. It's quite interesting, and it's worked. 98% of the time, it does work. Number one, don't talk too much about yourself on your first date. Listen more, because to me, silence is communication. And ask questions so you know enough about that person so you're able to understand if that person is going to connect with you. But don't talk about your ex-wife, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, because nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Also go out within 3 dates, within 3 weeks, because most people think, I don't have time, or I don't have time. If you don't make the time, no one's going to take the time to make the time. So 3 weeks within 3 times 3 days. And the most important key is stay monogamous. That means no physical intercourse for 3 months. That's right. You can hug, you can touch, but don't do the deed, because then you know that that's more of a spiritual match versus a physical match, because you want to be with somebody who's going to last a lifetime. Unless you're just looking for that wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, then the rule of three will not work for you.
I wish you'd just tell it like it is, Deborah. Appreciate that. Okay, what are some of the biggest blunders that you know, the talking too much about yourself? I hear that from my girlfriends who are on dating apps, and that's the one biggest complaint they have, is that the guys they end up dating talk all about themselves and never ask the question. So do you find that to be the case?
Absolutely. I feel like you need to ask questions. You need to know that you're connected, and stay out of your apps. That's right. When you're on that date, don't be looking at your phone and texting, because that person's going to feel a disconnect automatically, and that person might pull away or shy away. So you always want to keep your eyes communication. And again, maybe that first date doesn't go exactly the way you want it to be, but it doesn't mean that it cannot work. It means that you have to take that second date, then take that third date, and of course, stay monogamous for 3 months.
Wow. Okay, and then you urge all daters to beware of falling prey to something called an energy vampire.
Absolutely. An energy vampire is, and this could be coworkers, this could be friends, heck, this could even be some of your family members. If you're around them and they are making you sick to the point like you just want to throw up, or you're feeling dizzy, or feeling completely exhausted after being around that person after the first 30 or 40 minutes, that's usually when I say, run, 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 while you still have your head attached to your body. That's what we call a low vibrational energy vampire, and nobody got time for that.
Okay, and so then that leads me to the next question, is when do you know to move on, when to say goodbye? I feel like some people, especially women, say, well, I have invested all this time in this person.
Well, it's true. People feel like, I'm getting older, my biological clock might be ticking, and I feel like I put so much time, but you want to make sure that you really could see that person in your life 30 or 40 years down the road, because they may not look so sexy. They may not have so much hair on top of their head, and they may not look the same way. So you want to be able to really decipher, and remember, you're never too late. I mean, connected and matched people in relationships that are 20, 30, even if they're in a marriage, in a relationship. I help people rekindle that flame. So you're never too old. I repeat, do not give up. You're never too old, and anything and everything is a possibility just by having three things: faith, trust, and hope. That's the key to a perfect relationship.
Okay, I hear people say, well, he's not my type. Is that a real thing, or should you just kind of let that slide and be open?
Well, the interesting thing is most of the people that come to me and I work with, whether I'm working via phone with them or in person, however it may be, because I don't have to see you in order to connect with you. I can just feel your energy and connect with your vibration. 90% of what you think you want is not what you want. So don't go by, he's not my type. Don't go by, he's too tall or too short, because I like to call myself shallow. How? I look in you, not at you. So give it a chance, give it a whirl. Maybe if you don't want to go out with that tall girl and you're like, I want to go out with shorter girls, I want to go out with taller guys or shorter guys, don't put a label on it. Just go with it. Just wing it. Just go for it. Because remember, we're not here for a long time. We're here for a damn good time. So you really want to enjoy life. So stop putting out that fear, because that's going to block you from meeting your soulmate or partner in the future.
The book again is titled Psychic: Deborah Graham's Guide to Attracting and Keeping Your True Love. Deborah Graham, thank you so much.
Thank you. And if anybody wants to book a session, go to psychicdeborahgraham.com. That's psychicdeborahgraham.com for more information. Thank you again so much.
You bet. We'll be right back with more AM Northwest.